there. But yeah, so let's get going. You guys know me. I'm Joe, the Education Workforce Development Coordinator with IECRM. We do these forums to help give our members and partners an opportunity to hear directly from organizations like TAC, the Department of Corrections, Cross Purpose, that offer programs and resources to strengthen workforce. So, these are valuable partnerships for people to find careers in our industry and connect them to our employers. We have Jim. Are you here? Jim Olson. We're showing you on mute if you're here, Jim. We may have Jim Olson with the Colorado Department of Corrections. If we can get a hold of Jim, he's going to share opportunities for working with skilled individuals that are re-entering the workforce and how contractors can connect to those programs. We're joined today by Liam Murphy, awesome guy with TACT, which stands for Teaching Autism Community in the Trades. TACT provides hands-on training in the trades for individuals on the autism spectrum, helping these individuals develop skills and connect them with employment opportunities. And Liam's got great info on his program. And then we have Teresa Kostenbauer today representing Cross Purpose. Cross Purpose, if you haven't heard from them, is an organization that helps individuals transition to new careers through training, mentorship, job readiness, placement. And we've actually partnered with Cross Purpose on a few pre-apprenticeship programs in the past. So we're each going to have about 15 minutes here. I think we'll start with Liam. Are you okay with starting?
Sure.
Cool. Appreciate you, Liam. We'll give you like 10, 15 minutes here to give us the rundown of TACT. We'll make sure this gets distributed to all of our contractor members. Just for like time considerations, if we're bumping up against the 15 or something, I'll throw you a 2-minute warning. We do those in our staff meetings, and they're pretty helpful, our little 2-minute warnings. So if needed, I'll throw you a 2-minute sign, and then then we'll move on through this and get these distributed to our contractors. So really appreciate you guys doing it in this format. I know we had a little bit of a curveball, but we'll start off with Liam. Liam, if you want to introduce yourself and talk about TACT, then we'll move down the line here.
Sure. Good morning. My name is Liam Murphy. I'm with TACT, teaching the autistic community trades. I'm the director of development. So I'm here to spread the word, the mission, the objective of what we try and do day in and day out. And it's been around since 2016, when some people saw limitations, we saw potential in the workforce. And some of the most important things that we talk about here is the 6 platforms that we teach. And 6 of the platforms that we teach here are automotive, welding, electrical, tech for trades, computer science, cybersecurity. We just started culinary. And one of our objectives is to get kids that are on the neurodiverse or autism spectrum education in the trade industry. And if you don't know, 1 in 32 kids has been diagnosed with autism, and their limitations over the years is not limitations of opportunity. It's the limitations of people saying no to them. And last year, TAC brought through, just in 1 year, 2,100 kids through the TAC program. And this past May, we graduated 60 kids. And the only way to graduate from TACT is with a job. And the average job that we get these kiddos are from $21 to $22 per hour. So right now, our job placement based on our platforms is 83.4%. That's an incredible statistic when you take in consideration the US is 9% and Colorado is 11%. So we are years beyond what current communities are doing. And some of the things that we focus on and some of the companies that we work with, right now, we have over 75 companies that have reached out to us since 2016, and they are consistent relationship partners in our workforce development. And some of the brands that we're working with are Subaru USA, Miller Welding, General Air, Toyota, Microsoft, Empower Finance. These are not just King Super companies, and there is nothing wrong with King Supers, but we want to create a career for these kids where they have a salary, an insurance, 401k. These are very important to us when we come into that transitional areas of the workforce development. So, with that said, at TAC, um, the work doesn't end just in the classroom. It totally incorporates into the workshop as well. And all our classes are 6-to-1 with two RBT support staff. So that's an incredible individual, attention to detail, support to their neurodiverse structure. And some of the statistics that we've come across, and this is just current, is when you give an autistic kid, boy or girl, the certification, the tools, and the job placement, their retention rate with that company when we place them over 10 years is 95%. And their proficiency rate of that job is 91.2%. So realistically, they're not making mistakes and they're there to work. So when you hire a potential autistic tradesman, you should just give them the golden pen of retirement on the first day because they're not going to go anywhere. And when you're looking at the P&L each year, just put an X through the L because here's some of the things that will never be brought to attention is they're never late. They're always on time. They don't bring drama. They're very focused and their retention is incredible. And when you speak about retention, you take a kid that graduates out of DU this year, on average, a company spends $40,000 to $45,000 to onboard a new employee. But in today's industry, those individuals are leaving that job within 9 months for a 5% increase in salary. So, where is the retention that the trade community needs? Well, it's here at TACT because when these kids get job employment, we invite them back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for social group. We ask how their job's going. We see where the problems are going. And how do we support that? We provide job coaching to all the kids that get jobs with the company. And what job coaching entails is not just coaching our kids that are placed in this employment, it's really how we navigate the CEOs, the managers of how to work with the neurodiverse community and how to support them and how to guide them. And again, these companies that we're working with are coming back to us and saying, can we get more Billies? Can we get more Jennifers? Because they see the retention and the support. So, um, here are some of the big things that have happened in the past 4 months. Future ready collaborations in the workforce. In the past 4 months, we've had two large companies, and I'll say it, Empower Finance and Patriot Consulting. They came to us and said, can you build a neurodiverse training program that we could create and hire neurodiverse kids based on the statistics and the analytics that you provided? We're like, oh my God. So now these companies are taking off those rose colored glasses and seeing the continuity that we're developing. So for Empower Finance, we invited 30 kids of neurodiversity. We wrote and created the training program that provided and supported and was approved by Empower Finance. And at the end of the day, Empower Finance hired 5 of our kids. But again, Empower paid all 30 kids for the training program $30 an hour. That's a huge step forward in the belief of what we're doing. And those 5 individuals, one of them was a DU grad, and on average, he sent out 250 resumes with not one callback because he was being transparent and he put he was neurodiverse on his resume. So we organically guide that and help them in the interview process. But the greatest result was the individual that got the job, his average hour salary, $122,000 a year. But here's a funny story. On the day that he was offered the job, we were there and he said, "Okay, you're going to work 3 days in the office and 2 days at home." He leans into me. He's like, "I get 2 days off?" We're like, "No, no, 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 no. No, no, no. You got to work from home." He's like, "Oh, okay. I get it. I get it." So it's kind of enlightening that what they do and what they believe and how they support. And we just got an update from Empower. Hasn't missed a day. He's raised his percentage. He's building firewalls for them. He's increased their productivity by 1.9%. So that's huge in the short time that he's been there. But just imagine if other companies started engaging and asking us to create, training programs for neurodiverse programs. So um, the visionary of these companies to entrust that is something to talk about, and then the hands-on learning goes beyond the classroom. This past year, we hosted a manufacturing camp that I wrote a grant for. I got $25,000 from Mitsubishi. We invited and interviewed 15 applicants, but it was all paid for by the grant. And in the 4 weeks of this camp, this manufacturing camp, the first 3 weeks, we gave them certifications in welding, computer science, and safety. And on the fourth week, we created a field trip to attend 5 different manufacturing companies to visit what their passions and desires are. And the greatest thing, the greatest outcome is 4 of these kids were hired at the end of the 4 week camp. So we are doing everything we can possibly to recognize them. But intact, we just don't fill a void or a position with our kids. We vet the company to make sure it's the right fit for the right individual so they can have a long-term success. We don't want short-term. And in the trades industry, we can't have that because by 2029, there's going to be 42 million unfilled trade positions just in the United States. So those positions are growing. Our community is secure with retention over 10 years. You just got to give an opportunity to what we're doing here. And right now, some of the things that we're recognizing in the future is we are growing. We are moving, we are opening our first office in Austin, Texas this fall. And then we are opening a new office in Carbondale, Colorado. So people are seeing the growth. And I'll just leave you with this idea is the Mike Rowe video that's on YouTube with the second episode. It was people you should know. It's been seen by over 300,000 people. And I've received 1,000 emails from pretty much every state. And this morning I just received one from British Columbia, Canada saying, "Come to us." There is a need for what we're doing. And we're going to try and expand that. My goals aren't short. My goals aren't small. I want to be in every city in the United States, Canada, and Australia because there is a purpose for tact. And when you build with us, we provide that retention. So, my final note to you guys is every person deserves a chance to build something real with their hands, with their minds, with their hearts. At TAC, we just don't teach trades. We build belonging, purpose, and opportunity. So with that, don't overlook the brilliance of the neurodiverse industry. I want to thank you guys so much for your time. Please check us out. If you want a personal in-person tour, please call me. I can make that happen for you and your industry. Thanks again.
Thanks for that, Liam. Really nice breakdown. Definitely take Liam up on touring the facility down there. They've got a really nice setup. We were lucky enough to come get a tour and check it out, and never meet somebody more passionate about helping his community. So really appreciate it, Liam.
Thank you.
Let's see here. I did see Daryl join in. Jim, Daryl, are you guys with us here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Morning. Hey, not sure if you guys caught, we had a little bit of a pivot this morning. We had like 8 contractors that are registered to listen to this. And all of our presenters are here, but they weren't able to get in. So we must have like a link issue. So we're just doing this recording style, and then we're distributing it to each of our contractors. Good news is you're probably going to end up with a much larger audience, because we're going to get this out to all of our contractors. Not just the people that registered for the meeting this morning. But yeah, Jim, Daryl, if we could take 15 minutes of your time to get a breakdown of the Department of Corrections opportunities. I believe that we've got some IEC videos playing over there, right? Is that correct?
Yes, you do.
Awesome. Cool. That was Daryl, I heard there, right?
Yes, it was. I know. I'm not sure what happened when you tried to get in there earlier. It just wouldn't get going.
Wouldn't let you in. I'm
No.
sorry about that. Well, hey, we've got this kind of set up still nice here, where if you guys want to give us a little chat for 10, 15 minutes, talk about some of the the skilled workers that you have coming out and ready to enter the workforce again. We'd love to hear about it, and then we'll get this distributed out to our entire network here.
Daryl, I can
Okay.
start with this if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay. So we have a lot of current programming going on within the trades. I'm just going to kind of run down some of our currently active career and technical education programs, and I have them on the board here. So if you see me turning to the side, it's because I'm making sure I hit all of them. But just in a nutshell, we have a wide variety of opportunities for our students to hopefully be able to provide them with the skills they need in order to find work upon release from prison. So we have graphic design, cosmetology, culinary arts, customer service, which basically all falls under business management. We have horticulture, welding, machining, electronic engineering, computer information systems, IT essentials, automotive repair, automotive service, carpentry, and custodial. So we do have a wide variety of programs that we currently offer through the trade side. We continue to work hard every single year to try to improve with our outcomes. We don't want to just provide the education piece. We also want to try to assist with the workforce aspect of it as well. I will say that I've been in this position for about a year now, and I've been kind of working with that workforce aspect since I've been here, but we do continue to expand on that. In addition to the programs that I just listed, we also have other programming available some of the programs we're doing. And one of those programs is a decision item funded program. It's for individuals that are hopefully going to be getting out to society soon. And so we have some life skills programming offered. We have currently also have a CDL pre-apprenticeship program that we're currently doing, and we're currently working with Fortified Academy at this time in order to kind of have a transition from them taking all the classes that they need to take prior to release and then doing the pre-apprenticeship once they are released. And that's a relatively new program. We've had a couple cohorts go through that one, and we're looking for another one. And we are tracking our results through that piece, and we hope to have some good feedback on that in the not too distant future. We're also working with Pueblo Community College. We're doing mechanical labs, electrical labs, HVAC labs. We're also looking at some EV training as well as OSHA. And we're also working with the PCC with the workforce aspect of it too, kind of working through their office with that, as well as incorporating individuals from our prison and our parole side too, to try to provide for a more structured transition out to the community. And a lot of that we are currently tracking as well, trying to, and hopefully going to obtain some good feedback from that as well too. And also in addition, we have a warehouse program, and it's kind of a combination or a combined effort between Breakthrough, the Attorney General's office, plus the DOC, and it's a new program. We're currently working with individuals that are getting close to release. We're providing them with all sorts of training before they get out in the warehouse aspect, and then lining up potential work or hiring partners on the outside that are willing to hire these individuals if they are released to their, to a specific area. That kind of coincides where they have businesses at. And that program is brand new. We haven't even completed the first one yet. We're working through it. And the only other one we have is we're currently have in the works a construction pathway program. I don't have a lot of details on that yet because it is relatively new, but it is one of the programs we are working on. I know that's about the most of it. I'm going to turn over to Daryl. Daryl, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, sorry about that camera. My computer and Zoom don't go together for some reason.
My computer doesn't like Zoom that much either, so no big
I
deal.
know. So, like we said before, you mentioned before, we have that video. I think there's actually 3 of them on the Chromebook. So they're on every Chromebook. So the offenders are able to open those without having to go through a lot. And so we're actually tracking how many people were watching them. And I think that was only for electronics, correct? And so
oh, go ahead.
electrical. And so there was 2 people that got out and they actually contacted you guys. I'm not sure if they succeeded in getting a job. Do you have any feedback on that?
Yeah, I haven't. Those didn't come across my radar specifically. Maybe it's a good thing to add a component to this to give them like a direct contact. Someone like me at IEC. So that they can let us know, hey, I found out about you guys through the DOC, so that we can make sure that we have emphasis with them. Because we've had a lot of our contractors respond to surveys that these are companies that are on board with second chance hires, and especially somebody who maybe even had some skills beforehand that would be able to jump right into this reentry.
And that's what with those 2, one of them, he already had some skills, and then he took some more courses while he was in the department, and then when he got out, I'm pretty sure that particular one, because I've called his parole officer, he was able to contact you guys.
Great.
But I would be open to getting more information from you, what you offer, some of the services that you have. So we have a lot of people who come into the system and they already have skills, but then once you commit a felony, and that becomes a little bit different. And so I know the electrician board, we've had electricians come in, and then when they get out, it's like starting over. And so I think that's a good piece for some of the offenders because they're there, they have the skill set, some of them even licensed, but then you have to almost start over um once you come to prison and then get back out. So if you could assist us maybe with something like that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And then we just got to make sure that people that are coming into IEC, they know about the resources that we have to connect them to our contractor base, hire lists, career fairs, things like that. But if we have these individuals maybe even come straight to someone like me, where they can let me know where they found IEC from, then I can get them a little bit more intentional contact with some potential employers.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Why don't you build an individual IEC email for these individuals? And, based on certifications, it goes to a private email account for all these potential individuals looking for prospective jobs in the future. So you got one-stop shop of who's interested and what their qualifications are. And maybe they could be even trained on what their certifications were, and they can upload just like a very basic resume, just so you're familiar and you're building a database and a relationship with these guys. Just a
Right.
suggestion.
Appreciate it, Liam. Yeah, no, and Dale, Jim, I think that's great. I think that what we've got going so far is kind of a good first step. And then we just got to keep in touch with each other, and then make sure that we're supporting these awesome skilled workers that you're sending our way. And then track it, make sure that they're landing positions with our contractors and that they're successful once they're there.
Joe, can I add something to what he was just saying? We are in a code cycle. So every 3 years, when the National Electrical Code changes, Colorado licensed electricians have to have 24 hours of continuing education. And we ran into this 1 or 2 code cycles ago, to your point, that there are electricians that are incarcerated that may be licensed, but if they don't get their continuing education, then they lose their license. And so we would love to work we'd love to figure out who those individuals are while they're incarcerated, so that we can work on making sure that they get the continuing education that they need. So it's not a barrier when they're released. They've already achieved those milestones so that they can continue. Or if they have, if they're partially through an apprenticeship program, what can we do to help support them getting the remaining hours that they need, so that they at least finish their classroom hours, even if they need to go back and do on-the-job training hours. So I think, I don't know how we determine that universe of the population. There was a pilot of a program in Florida for youth, but I know, more what we're talking about would be adults that are incarcerated. But I think that's another step in this relationship, is how do we help identify those individuals that we could be supporting. IEC has the largest number of continuing education classes approved by DORA, by the Department of Regulatory Agencies. So there's got to be a way that we could figure that out. But you also mentioned that there is you said the electrical board. Is there an electrical board within the Department of Corrections, or were you referencing the electrical board that's part of DORA?
Electrical board part of DORA.
Okay.
And so if I can, I think we can present the information to them to get those continuing education credits. That's not the problem. And I even think that we could actually set something up to let them know that, hey, if you're an electrician and you're getting out, these are the things you need to do. I've had a few of them over the years come to me, and it's just been it's really hard to get that workaround so that you can, all the paperwork and everything is done correctly, I think. And so they struggle. That's been a big struggle with the electricians and DORA and the board. I was on the state board of cosmetology for several years, and so I know that if you, even as a cosmetologist, If you're incarcerated and your license expire, you're looking at, in certain circumstances, starting over. And it becomes a factor when they get out. Because if you've been an electrician for years, you're probably going to go back to being an electrician because you already have a skill.
This is an important point, and there is a meeting coming up with Dora. I'm going to make a note to bring this up for licensed professions in general. Certainly we are there to speak to the electrical piece, but there is a meeting with the Department of Regulatory Agencies, the governor's office, and a couple of other entities to address regulatory reform through Dora. And what needs to be addressed. And this seems like something that is ripe for additional problem solving.
Thank you very much.
I love the idea of continuing education while they're still incarcerated as well. Keep them in the loop and keep their make sure they don't lose anything while they're waiting to get released. Well, for the sake of time, I want to make sure that we hop over and allow Teresa with Cross Purpose some time to present as well. Jim, Daryl, definitely appreciate it. And what we're going to do at the end of this is when we package this out to our contractors, if it's okay with y'all, we're going to include your contact information so that they can connect directly with you. Potentially, I think Daryl and Jim with the Department of Corrections, it may be a good idea to filter through us so that we can promote. But we'll definitely make sure that, if there's employers of ours, like I know there are employers of ours that even work directly with TACT already, we'll make sure that they have a way to get a hold of you as well, based off of what they heard from today. But yeah, we have about 17 minutes left. So Teresa, the floor is yours. Appreciate you, talking about Cross Purpose. And then we'll kind of have you kind of wrap things up for us, and then we'll get this distributed out to our network.
Great. Thank you. Can you see my screen?
I can, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't take that long. So anyway, thanks everybody. It's a pleasure to be invited. And we have a very good relationship historically with your organization and with your contractors. And just as a reminder, our mission is to abolish economic, relational, and spiritual poverty through career and community development. Oh, and by the way, I'm the new director of career advancement at Cross Purpose. It's a new role, and I care very much about the talent pipeline we're creating and also the talent that goes through it. We have 3 different programs, and so we're more than just job training. We launch the people coming out of the Colorado Department of Corrections would fit. Launches for people who just need a job. They might have been justice impacted and just out, or recently sober, and career planning and training isn't in their immediate future. It's a remote program. It's 6 weeks long. They have an incentive of $250. We provide some personal development, and we have jobs online. We also, the leader trainings, how we work with you, and we have on-site classes. It's 6 months long. There are eligibility requirements. They get a $200 stipend. And then legacy, our goal is to go from generational poverty to generational wealth. And after they've had their job for a while, we offer personal and financial planning. It's 36 months long. It's for all cross-purpose graduates. There's a $10,000 incentive. Many of them, we help them buy their first home. We help them invest in their 401k. And a lot of them have eliminated debt. By the numbers, we have 86% retention rate. We've had over 1,200 grads. The average wage for 2024 is $21.80. Our population, 47% identify as single parent. Unemployed, you can see 80% ethnic minorities. I think the biggest one on this is that I care about is most of our participants are female. And so I'm really looking for careers that welcome women and provide a good culture for them. Our model that I think really benefits employers is the personal development part. So these are some of the training and classes we have for the first 6 weeks. They go through all these different topics that employers have said have been important to them. So they're prepared before they get to you. Then we work on skills development, which is the pre-apprentice program that we have with you, and to help them prepare to go in and meet the employers, and then on through. But all the way through and through alumni, we provide support for them and wraparound services, as well as that includes counseling, because many of them, it's not just getting a job and making money. They also have to deal with everything that has been involved in their life previously that has prevented them from having the career that they'd like. I won't go into detail, but these are some of our career tracks. And I have to say that electrical is one of our most popular tracks. I think they find a lot of success. I think it's a good match with the folks that hire them. So anyway, I've been here since May, and that's what I've heard. So our mission is really to engage employers that want to invest in this community and create more accessible, impactful career pathways with the aim of abolishing poverty. The employer partner essentials are, right now, the livable wage that just came out for the Denver metro area is $52,000 or $26.10 an hour. And that's for a single person. And as you can tell from our statistics, that's not everybody in our group. So the nice thing about this field is it moves up towards that. And so we really appreciate that. But these are some of the things that we're looking for in employer partners. So finally, as with the other presenters, you have access to untapped talent. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities, people to help with mock interviews. Interviewing for a job in your field is different than interviewing for a culinary career. And so we'd love to have you engaged. We're putting together an employer advisory board. And as you saw on a previous slide, we have a lot of diverse industries. And so we're looking to create some best practices across fields, some partnering, I think some thought leadership. So those of you that are innovation minded and like to vision the future and try and put together some, I don't know, maybe some different career paths or some different ways of doing things than what you had before, we'd welcome, like Joe is one of them. So we'd welcome a conversation with you. So just real quick, Namaste Solar is one of our favorite employers. Enjoy working with them, and they've partnered with us. This is a quote from one of our graduates, and can you imagine someone going home and saying, "Your company's the best company I've ever worked for"? That's a pretty high compliment. And these are just some of our partners. So anyway, thank you for your time and attention, and we look forward to working with you. I'm done.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Like I said, Daryl, my computer doesn't like Zoom either, and I just got all these warnings about my video, but I don't know, maybe it's working. I really appreciate it, Teresa. Like Teresa said, Jim and Daryl, I think that, and it should have came to me earlier, that you guys should definitely connect. Sending some of your re-entries into Cross Purpose, I think could be a great opportunity to get them on the tracks that she'd mentioned there. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody joining the call today. Like I said, we had some sort of shift with the contractors joining this morning, but I'm hoping this means that you guys get a larger audience now, because we're going to send this out to upwards of 300 contractors in our network and our members. So if it's okay, we're going to share your name and contact information. So I would expect maybe some outreach based off of that. Some of our employers that would want to collaborate and connect and learn more about your guys' organizations. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys' time. Thanks for giving up your morning, talking about your great organizations. We're going to wrap things up. But we'll get this distributed out along with your contact information, and we'll kind of go from there. Liam, Teresa, Jim, Daryl, really appreciate your time. And then reach out to me to continue to let me know how I can help. Whether it's speaking with one person or a group, I'm more than happy to help any way I can. But yeah, thanks for everybody. You have a good rest of your morning.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care, guys.
Thank you again.